Vanessa Agudelo, founder of Houston Businesswoman, and I'm here with Sukaina Rajani, owner of MACARON by Patisse. She has 4 locations, 1 in River Oaks, the Woodlands, and 2 in the Galleria. Let's see, what is something people may not know about you?
I am actually not a pastry chef. I am a individual with a pharmacology degree and another degree in secondary ed, and then I started my master's in rehab med. So if you ever ask why I never wear a pastry coat, that would be why, because I'm not a legit pastry chef.
Nice. Okay. I didn't expect that one. I didn't know that for sure. Okay. What is the best advice someone has ever given you?
I would have to say it wasn't advice as much as it was a quote, I guess. And it was, wherever you are, be there. And as a business owner, as a female, I think it's so hard to live in the present. I think we're constantly working towards what's next, what we're working on, what we want to achieve, and we kind of miss out on what's happening like right now. And so every time I'm feeling overwhelmed or I'm getting caught up in what's going on in life, I try to remind myself of that quote, like wherever you are, be there.
I love that one. That's very true. What is your favorite book and why?
I'd say that recently, or not so recently, but I read this book by Sheryl Sandberg. You've probably heard about it, Lean In.
Oh.
And it was applicable in some ways, in many ways, because it talks about resilience, overcoming obstacles, and I mean, let's be real. Despite what social media puts out there, everyone in their life has things that they're working around or overcoming, and I just thought that it was it had really good objective point form ways to actually work your life.
How do you spend your free time?
The very little free time that I have, working out. I taught yoga for 6 years, and I wouldn't say that was my free time because I was teaching it at that point, but honestly it's like kind of removes you from your day-to-day thinking. And so working out, and then just spending time with friends and family and loved ones. I mean, it's the best time to spend.
What advice would you give your younger self?
I think the advice that I'd give my younger self is going to be similar to that quote that I mentioned before. I was always a very type A, and still am a very type A individual, where I have always been working towards achieving my goals. And throughout university, even while in school, I would always be like, oh, once I finish this degree, I'll do this. Once I finish this course, I'll go travel here. Once I achieve this, I'll do this. And so I feel like I missed out on a lot of the things that I could have enjoyed at those moments. And you can't really go back in time and make those things happen, right? You're not going to relive your college days. And so if I one day am graced with children, or if I'm able to give people advice, it would be, yes, definitely work towards your goals and be realistic about them, and work hard for them, but definitely try and enjoy the moments that you have in front of you.
What do you look for in an employee?
That is a great question. I think that some of my best employees have been those that didn't necessarily know everything right off the bat. Like, they didn't come with like all this experience or knowledge, but they were very willing to learn. So they came in with this desire to learn, took the initiative, took leadership roles, and made this their home. And then in addition to that, I'd say loyalty. Unfortunately, I'm in the retail business, and there's a lot of turnover, and that's something I can't really control. But I try and create as much of a positive environment, a nurturing environment where they're gonna wanna stay and grow with me.
What would your clients say about you and your company?
I think the first thing that would come to my client's mind is family.
Yes.
I think that point has been like drilled home, and I didn't do it intentionally at all. We didn't do it intentionally. It started off with me and my brother. A few years later, my parents ended up moving to Houston. We're all very much involved in the business, and so people see my mom, people see my dad, people see my brother, they see me, and we're very much still involved in the business. Like, we haven't kind of created it, grown it, and kind of like stepped away. We're very involved on a day-to-day basis, and so people come in and we'll be like, oh, we saw your mom the other day, and she was telling us that you were going here. I'm like, oh, you know so much about my life. Or, you know, vice versa, you know, they'll see me or they'll see my mom and be like, oh, Sukaina was telling me this. And so I think that has been something that people now see as like it being a family business. Though it looks like such a big business, or people come in all the time and they're like, is this a franchise? Like, or did you buy this from someone, or does somebody else own it? It's us. And in addition to that, that's extended to our employees. they're literally family to us. I mean, everybody as part of our staff, even ones that are older than my mother, call my mom mom. So, mom is mom, dad is dad. I'm Sukaina. You know,
That's so sweet.
my mom gets like this giant Mother's Day card every year with like all these gifts, and they just like adore her. And then Boss's Day comes, and I'm like, where's mine? But you know, it's a good feeling. I'd much rather be that way than
That's interesting. To what do you attribute your success?
hard work, resilience, but also keeping realistic goals in mind. I'm a type of person who likes to have like results-based goals. They're not just like, oh, I'm going to put in this many hours. Like they're very, very concrete goals, and how I'm going to achieve them. So, but yeah, hard work and resilience. I mean, there's nothing that you can achieve, but there's nothing that you can achieve without it. Yeah. Nothing comes easy in there.
As a businesswoman, what is a lesson that you have learned the hard way?
There is no such thing as work-life balance, in my opinion. I mean, I got asked this question on a panel just the other day, like, how do you achieve it? I don't, and I think those that kind of show that they do, when you actually talk to them, they're struggling with the same thing. Overextending myself, wanting to be overly involved, overcommitting, saying yes. I think that's also being a female, right?
Yeah.
Like we want to please everyone, we want to be everywhere. We do with the best of intent, right? We really want to be there. It's not like we're just saying yes to say yes. And that's something that now it was impactful on my health. It has been impactful in relationships. It has been impactful like on, personal relationships, but also friendships. And so I think that the last couple of years I've made it a point to really put things in terms of priority and balance that out and learn to say no.
Wow. If you had one piece of advice to someone just starting out, what would it be?
I think everyone has this idea of this fab life, and I think a lot of that comes from social media. I'm not gonna lie, I think that everyone puts out their highlights, right? You've never seen me post myself crying behind
That'd be
the counter,
awkward.
you know? They'd be like,
Hey, I'm
poor girl,
crying.
yeah. And so everything always looks very glamorous from a business perspective, and I think it's important to really find mentors or people that are in the industry that you really want to go into and really learn whether this is the lifestyle you want to lead, and if you have the ability to actually put in that time and effort into that business. Because those things may seem really easy. I mean, anyone in any business will tell you, well, these are the challenges that come with it. Now, if you're all set for them, you're aware of them, and you're like, I've got this, I can do it, then by all means go for it. But what I wouldn't do is, see something that you see on Instagram, or you meet someone one time and you're like, oh, that job looks cool, or what she's doing is really cool, and you just kind of jump into it, because I can't foresee that going well.
Yeah, I get DMs all the time, like, oh, how do you get into real estate? How do I do what you do?
Right.
And it's just like, oh, well, yeah, I'm highlighting the space, but that doesn't mean that's it. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of rejection and a lot of following up and a lot of negotiations, and sometimes you disappoint your tenant or your landlord, and it's a lot. And I feel like when people just see what I post, they think that that's it. And sometimes very rarely I get really real on Instagram and I go like, I had a bad day, because I put on there, just so you know that this life isn't perfect, I sometimes, should I start posting myself crying so y'all know that?
Okay, maybe we shouldn't cry. But
Okay.
But I do think that, it's exactly what you just said, right? It's, oftentimes people will be like, oh, well, it's just me about going and getting a pastry degree. Oh, it's just about getting a real estate license. I mean, there's so much more beyond that. And I just think that we need to be realistic, but the way to be realistic is to actually go and talk to people that are in the industry. And I'm sure people like us, if somebody did approach us from a very authentic, request that they were really interested, we would be more than happy to bring them in and show them what it's like and be very realistic with them, because at the end of the day, we want to see others succeed.
Exactly.
And so I just find people, really analyze it, set realistic goals, and be real with yourself. Do you really want to work 20-hour days? Do you really want to be in a kitchen till 3 o'clock in the morning and be back up at 5? Do you really want in the Houston summers to be wearing a nice outfit and going building to building, sweating, showing clients property? I mean, it's just
hard
be
work.
realistic.
Yeah.
Things look glamorous, they're not always. So find what you can really stick to.
So we've wrapped up our questions. Now I want to get a little tour of your store.
Yes. pearls are only 15. You can tell it's super light when you try it. That's a hazelnut Nutella.
I love how shiny it is.
Oh yeah, we decorate ours really pretty too. So not only are they delicious, they're aesthetically pleasing.
Wow. I think this is my first time trying macaroons. Nope. Second time. Nope, third time. But this is the first time trying macaroons. So creamy.
And they melt in your mouth. Yes. So they should all have a crisp eggshell-like exterior. That's what, because that comes from the meringue. Yeah. So that just makes me happy. And then the inside is supposed to be nice and chewy. Not super chewy, but soft. So the hazelnut will be your chewy ones. The big donuts will kind of collapse and melt in your mouth. So they're not all chewy, but there should be, like, you should get that textural gradient. Which is funny because some people will go ahead and try that with half and share it. No, it's about the bite.
The
bite.
It's so good. Oh, wow.
Okay, what's the next flavor that we're trying?
Surprise me.
I think you should try something very classic. Okay. I also think this is like the best flavor that's in bubbles. So champagne and macaroons. I like that. That's the combo, and I think that is the flavor.
So good.
Wow. So there's one more thing you mentioned. We love Nutella. We also do macaron gelato. So we do it in the form of gelato sandwiches. So for those who don't know what gelato is, a lot of people don't. It is Italian ice cream. So ice cream is usually really heavy cream, but it leaves a lot of air in it. It's very creamy. Whereas gelato, it doesn't have as much air in, and so it keeps a really nice creamy consistency, and I just think it tastes so much better. And so we make our own gelato, and we layer it with our macarons in a push pot form, and we also do it in macaron gelato sandwiches that we can dip